Hi, good evening. My name is Karen Harned. I'm currently a student at the University of New England studying social work. Today I would like to discuss with you about the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. In 2014, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services reported over 3 million investigations on child maltreatment. According to the National Child Abuse Neglect Data System, over 1,400 cases of child maltreatment were reported in deaths. That's estimated to be about 4 cases of children dying every day in the United States over child abuse and neglect. Oftentimes, cases of cases of child abuse that result in death are typically due to battered children syndrome, in which the child is repeatedly abused over a period of time. Fatal cases of child neglect often include unsupervised incidences such as pool drownings or bathtub drownings, medical neglect, or extended malnourishment. Children obviously do not get to vote in policies. It is our responsibility to be the voice of powerless children. It is our responsibility to protect children from child abuse and neglect. In order for us to do this, we must continue to support community-based resource programs and efforts for funding, for financing, for researching, for organizing preventative programs for child abuse and neglect. Children are our most valued member in society as they hold the key to future in their hands. We must continue to strengthen and support families in order to in order to reduce the likelihood of child abuse. Financing public information and activities that focus on the healthy and positive development of parents and children must be federally funded. Thankfully, we have the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act of 2010, which is a key policy for the protection of children. This policy is federally funded and gives grants to states to help with issues of child abuse and neglect. The act originated in 1974 and has been reauthorized, rewritten, as we have a better understanding of child abuse and neglect. We will continue to need to reauthorize this act, this policy, as our understanding of child abuse and neglect will continue to grow. History has shown the importance of keeping up with the policy. There have been times where local welfare departments did not receive the funds that they needed for the reported cases of child abuse and neglect. Over the years, the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act has been rewritten so that we can help with problems such as this. Critics such as Janet Rosenwig will argue that child neglect should not be included in the Prevention Act. They'll argue that child neglect is often a case of poverty that overburdens the system and leaves cases of child abuse to fight for the same resources. In 2000, the American Humane Association reported over 1,200 deaths of child maltreatment, where 45% of those were due to child neglect. As we can see, child neglect and child abuse are of the same importance in fighting it with the federal funds of the Child Abuse and Prevention Act. Consequences of child abuse have had many studies. Typically, victims left untreated will suffer severe depression, alcohol and drug abuse, aggressive behavior to include criminal activities. Our society, our entire nation, reaps the benefits of the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. By preventing and treating and child abuse and neglect, we help avoid these consequences that will destroy children, families, communities, and our entire nation. I thank you for your time and listening. Please have a good night.